Well, good evening. How y'all are? When you think about the Great Depression, you think about the types of food people had to eat. When things, it was a time when there wasn't a whole lot around to eat, and you had to stretch your budget and put a little bit of meat in things, so everybody got a little meat. And times were tough, and we're kind of in that time period again. So, if you think about depression, there people ate lots of beans and rice, and beef stew, and potato soup, and things of that nature, just so you could stretch a little bit of product a long way and feed your whole family. So today, we are going to make some beef stew, depression style, sort of. Join me, shall y'all? Now today. So the only package of meat they had at the store was this stew meat. And I could tell from feeling it and looking at it in the store, I knew what it was already. This is eye round. It's a really tough piece of meat. Very lean. Has almost no marbling or fat. It's just a tough piece of meat. So you gotta stew it to get it to break down or be tender enough to eat. So we're gonna do that traditionally with some fresh carrots, fresh celery, fresh onion, and some fresh red beet potatoes, with a few other ingredients. We're going to add a can of diced tomato, and probably a can of corn and a green bean to it. Let's get started. So on this meat here, I just put some of this Badia complete seasoning, kind of season all. Toss it up good. We're going to throw it in here in the stock pot with some olive oil. Start sauteing it here. And whoever commented about the wooden spoon, there he is. Now, when my kids were younger, I used it on my kids' ass. But since they're older now, and the government's so crazy, they probably put me in jail forever if I spank them with a wooden spoon this day and age. Anyway, we're just going to let that sit in there. Spread it out good so evenly cooked. We're going to brown it up real good. We're going to throw our vegetable in there. I'll show you what comes next. So we're starting to brown up here, but we ain't nowhere close to where we need to be. I like to get a nice browning on it where it's got kind of a crust on the outside before I add the vegetables, before I add the liquid in. The key to this is let it go a long time on low heat. So I'm going to cook this for about 3 hours. So it's 4 o'clock now. I'll try to eat around 7:30 at night, something like that. So if you're at home anyway, because there ain't no jobs, or you need to stay home from your job, or whatever, you can make something like this. What else you gotta do? Okay, we got some nice color on that meat. Let's go ahead and throw our vegetables in there. We'll start off with the onions, our carrots, and our celery. Now we're going to deglaze this pan here with this here red wine. This one here is from Creston, California. So let's deglaze this pan here. So what this is going to do here is pour all that good flavor off the bottom of the pan, that roast flavor. There we go. That's about a glass of wine in there, about 5 ounces or so. Ooh, that smells good. Smell them onions and celery and carrot with that wine. What that does, you can see there, it just pulls some drippings right off the bottom there, so it's all mixed in there. It doesn't taste burn. See, if you wait too long, it'll have a burn flavor. You don't want that burn flavor. Now, most time, that's why I said this is kind of like depression. Then most people wouldn't put wine in there. But, because Great Depression was not a time when people had wine laying around. Hell, it was Prohibition time, too. Part of it. And to go along with our wine, I like to throw some bay leaf in there, because it's got some fantastic flavor for stew. Now we're gonna throw a big old spoonful of garlic in there. So as you can see there, all them nice pan drippings done come off the bottom of the pan there. We got a nice, beautiful brownness to this here. That's what we're looking for. And if you got children at home, you worry about them getting into the wine or whatever, the alcohol, you see all the steam coming off the alcohol cooking out of it, so you ain't got to worry about that. Now we're going to throw in here some diced tomato. I like using a petite diced tomato for a stew. I go in next. And we're going to let that cook here for about 5 minutes. I'm going to show you the next step. Once we get back up to temperature. So that's what's going on there about 5 minutes since the last time I showed you there. And what I've done is add some fresh ground black pepper you can see on top there. And I'm going to add a can of sweet corn here, whole kernel, to the mix. I'm also going to add these potatoes in here right now. I got them right here. Let's see. Get that stir off in there. And you can start seeing this come together now. You're starting to, the smell is absolutely wonderful. Starting to see all the components. We're about to add the liquids and stuff next. Turn this down on slow and low and let it go. You can see that's going to be some beautiful stuff when it all cooked up there. So at this point, we're going to add a water in here. There's a little over a quart. We're going to add another quart. And then I'll show you how we're going to season that water up. So there we go. We had just about a gallon of water in there. Now, at this point, you can add some base of beef or you can add bouillon of beef. I'll show you both here. So to flavor up that water there, you're either going to need a base, which you can buy. This here is minor, but you can buy the Better Than Bouillon beef base in your grocery store. And then, if you don't have that, you can always use the beef bouillon. It's up to you. You just need to flavor that up so your soup's got some flavor. So we're going to put a big old spoonful of this in there. That's going to be our flavoring here for this soup. Now when we get down to where it cooks down a little bit, like I said, we're going to let this go slow and low. So now we check it out, kind of see what the flavor is coming out like. And we'll adjust some seasons. And we'll add whatever we think we need to add at that point. Let's just see how it turns out. Because you can always add seasoning, but it's impossible to take the seasoning back out. And just remember, when you have to open the wine up to make your product, your soup or your stew or your sauce, always make sure you have enough for the chef. It's actually a pretty decent wine. Truth and Valor. So we're 1.5 hours into this here. And what I like to do at this point, use the olive oil and the grease from the meat. Creates this kind of foam up on top. I like to just strain this off. And you just do that by gently going around, removing that. Like so. Okay, so here we are. We've been letting this go for 3 hours. And you can see up here in the pan here in the pot how far it's reduced down. And it's looking absolutely delicious. I just tasted it. It tastes delicious. And I don't think I'm adding any more seasoning. I added some black pepper and that's about it. That bouillon got a lot of salt and everything, so you don't really need any more salt. And look at that. Look at that. Looking beautiful. Find some of that meat in there. Where's that meat at? Where the hell did that meat go? It's in there. It goes down the bottom. So we're gonna make some cornbread and enjoy this meal.
It had cheese and jalapenos. Delicious,
just delicious. Well, that soup was delicious, and it was good spending some time with my family. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time.